back to the non-league adventure with me, GW365. It's the end of the season review, it's end of season 8. We were in the championship, and if you haven't already seen, we've promoted into the Premier League at the first time of asking, after having consecutive promotions from the Vanarama National League direct to the Premier League, which is fantastic. We'll just quickly click on Eastleigh just to show you. Yeah, we joined this season here. We finished 5th in the playoffs, so we managed to win in the playoffs, and then we won League 2, and then we won League 1, and then we finished 2nd in the Championship at first time of asking. Obviously it's not starting right from the beginning, so those who were thinking, oh, he's done it right from the beginning, I haven't. I had 4 years at Curzon Ashton first, had a bit of success, had a bit of failure, ended up deciding to move on. I took them as far as I thought I could go, and yeah, after that we've just gone, like, we've soared with most of the existing players like Jake Hesenthal, who is the captain. He's now 29 years old, and he doesn't stand out really with any attribute. He's Mr. like average, if you like, in terms of like 10s and 9s, and a couple of the key areas with like 13s and 14s and a couple of 12s, and he does a really good job for me. I'm going to go into the squad screen just to show you all the attributes and not the attributes, the stats and whatever. But this guy is probably going to have a job for life. He's only a 2-star player, but he's been one of my first signings that I brought in right at the very beginning. I've got to sort out a lot of contracts, but this guy in particular has been my standout performer all the way through from day 1 with Eastleigh. There is a few others which I will bring up very shortly. Yeah, so going into the squad, the leading appearance maker was Will Jaskalainen. He was followed up, not closer, but 10 games away by Danny Kane. He was the leading outfield player. He's a guy that I brought in the summer. He's only 5'10", so he's not the tallest centre-back. He might even be 5'9". Just clicking him. He's actually, yeah, he's 5'9", but I thought he had good stats for this league. He was 4-star to start off with. Not had the best of seasons in terms of overall performance, but you know, I'll go into the average ratings very shortly. Other like top appearance makers, I'll probably just go into the top 5. You got Aidan White there, who was largely an ever-present towards the second half of the season. Brewer played a massive part as well. Got dropped a couple of times because of a few poor performances. And Liam Walsh is the other guy who obviously has been a standout performer for us. Right, so I'm going to go into a little bit more depth in the end, but I'm going to go for assists next. If you look at the leaders, I'll do the top 5 again. You've got Stephen Kinsella, who's got 12, has been largely a backup player, only made 21 apps, and he's chipped in with 5 goals as well. He did very well. Russell chipped in with 11, so the leading assist makers obviously been the wingers. Then we had Andrew Powell with 10. Adi Kanye in 12 appearances made 10 assists and scored 3 goals, which is very good. Obviously Andrew Powell getting 9 goals was very pleasing as well, because that's one thing he didn't really recently have in his locker, was goals. He used to be just the assist machine. We'll go into that later. But yeah, been very, very good. Top goal scorers now, Roy Brewer. No surprise there after the last couple of seasons. Picked up 22 goals this season. Aldo Nabe was deemed like a 2-star player, or 2.5-star player. He's been here for, he was one of the first signings along with Hesenthal. I think he was here before Hesenthal as well. He got 18 goals this season, which is crazy to say that he shouldn't be anywhere near good enough for this league, but never mind. Saunders as well, they all like rotated. He chipped in with 14 goals as well. Russell got 13 goals, as we already know, from the left hand side. And a special mention for Jake Jackson, who's on loan again this season, this time at Scunthorpe. He was in line for the player of the season before he picked up a 3-month injury, which kind of knocked him back, because he got the player of the season in the Vanarama National League the year before, being out on loan. He's one player definitely to keep an eye out, because he's definitely got some potential about him. Andrew Powell, the other one with 9 goals, he's the next in line. Average ratings, it would be a little bit unfair to say that he's got the player of the season, but Bobby Adekanye, who I might have to rename in the summer if I keep him, to Kanye West, Adekanye West, 12 appearances, 10 assists, 3 goals, an average rating of 8.01. Fantastic average rating. That's the highest average rating I've probably seen at my own team. I've seen it like in the team in the league ratings and things like that, and I'm thinking, how the hell is he getting that higher score? But sometimes they're just that good. Once again, I mean, we'll get into the reason why I was on about Jake Jackson before on the next column, but we'll get into that shortly. Liam Walsh is probably our best overall player with 7.52 average rating, getting 5 assists and 1 goal this season. Sean Long joined in January and he's had a decent start to his career at Eastleigh as well. 7.46 average rating with a player of the match, 1 time with 2 assists. This is what I mean about Adel Nabi. Is 7.42 average rating, 4 player of the matches, 18 goals, 4 assists, been very, very good for us as well. Worth noting that Adel Nabi is concerned about his lack of goals and feels it is affecting his confidence. He's got 18 goals in a division that he should not be good at all. What are you complaining at, pal? I'm not complaining about you. But if you're still here next season, then maybe we'll have to sort something out for you. Right, players of the matches. I'll first go into our division because it's like only like 5 players that, well, they're not really high amounts of player of the matches. Russell got 5, as did Andrew Powell. Nabi and Brewer picked up 4 apiece, and Aidan White was the next highest with 3 if you ignore Adam King, who's also out on loan. But like again, special mention for Jake Jackson. Let's just click on him now. You can see here, I mean, he made 33 appearances, scored 7 goals, 7 assists, 8 player of the matches, and he picked up the league player of the year for the Vanarama National League. He did actually play a couple of games for us in League 1, and he played very well to start off with. I was a little bit, it's mainly because I forgot I had him on the development list, and I just thought, you know what, no, he'll get him more games. I was only going to play him in the cup competitions, and we got knocked out relatively early in them. But yeah, he went to Scunthorpe on loan. He's played 29 games, scored 10 goals and 6 assists, 13 player of the matches from midfield. He's got to be in the running for the player of the season, so we'll have to watch this space. Scunthorpe themselves finished 11th in the league, so you know his average rating, you can see there, is actually the top performer for average rating, so he's definitely going to be in a shout of winning that again. So it's no reason why he can't make the step up eventually to Premier League, I feel, but I don't think he's going to be much better than the likes of Jake Hesenthaler. And finally, I'll look at the passing stat. 81%, believe it or not, for Jack Senior, who made 3 appearances this season. Sadly, his time at East is going to be coming to an end. He just wasn't good enough. He got an average rating of 7.23, but his last game that he played, I think he got like a 6.5, and we got trounced, and I just thought, you know what, mate, it's probably because you're not good enough. You're only deemed as a 2-star player. He was 1.5 earlier on in the season. But yeah, Jake Hesenthaler with 80% passing accuracy, along with Aidan White. Surprising, the left backs doing really well for passing. But as you can see, they've all got close to 80% passing, all the way down to Martin Smith. You know, after that you've got a few other players, well, bit part players really. The Belt played quite a lot of games for us this season early on. He started off so well and then just dropped off and didn't really do much else. I think he got those 4 goals and 6 assists in the first like 9 games, and then just faded away. So what are we looking forward to next season? I've just realised that the season is not actually over, but it doesn't matter because Fulham and QPR and Wolves are already down. So you know, we've got a couple of tough trips. We've got Chelsea, Man U, Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City as per the usual tough games. We've got Tottenham as well. Everton are usually pretty tough. But other than that, Southampton are our feeder club. We're going to lose that privilege, which is going to massively hamper us, because if you're not aware already, it is where we've got Roy Brewer from, and Roy Brewer is our best striker by far. So I'm not looking forward to life in the Premier League without Roy Brewer, if I'm honest with you, because he's the one player I think could like save the day in terms of keeping us up. So we'll have to have a look and see what else we can do, because we can't really rely on loans anymore, I don't think, because normally you get loans from teams in high division, and I mean I might be able to get a couple of youngsters maybe from the top 4 who are not really going to get a look in, but they won't be able to play against them, so we'll probably lose those games. So we've got to accept that we're going to lose a game. Ideally though, we could keep Southampton, keep Roy Brewer. I'm hoping we can loan him again, in the same way that we loaned Johnny Bate from Leeds, in fact, and Powell for that matter. That's another thing, isn't it? It's Powell from Cardiff, because Cardiff, I believe, have been relegated. No, they haven't. They got out of it. They're there. But Cardiff are going to be in the division below us, and are they really going to loan us Andrew Powell? Probably not. They're probably going to keep him, but with them being on loan already, you always get that option to loan them again before like your status changes. So I'm hoping I'll be able to loan them again. It's probably unlikely, probably more likely with Brewer, but I'm probably going to miss out on Powell as well. So going back into the team, I'm going to go into the tactics screen for this. Go back into the team. The players that we're probably going to be looking at getting rid of next season. The stadium he's come in and he's just not performed at all, so unfortunately he's probably going to be on his way if I can get him out. He's on a contract for another year, so it's going to be easier said than done, but he is wanted at this moment in time, so I might be able to cash in on him. Danny Kane, I'm happy with his performance. I will probably keep him. The chef and the shop are probably going to be on the way out, unfortunately, because they're just... Every time they played, I mean, if you look at the chef, I think it's the chef. It might be the shop, actually. But the chef just hasn't really had a look in this season. I don't know, Walsh and Hesenthaler. I wanted to play Hesenthaler more because he's the captain. But yeah, the shop, I believe it's him. 7 yellow cards, 3 red in 11 games, 5 sub appearances. Just kept getting sent off, and I don't know why, because, I mean, you look at his aggression stats, it's only 10. His tackling's 13, it's not bad, he just kept getting red cards. And I just couldn't afford to have him, unfortunately, playing for us. He kept costing us in a couple of games anyway. So yeah, they're probably going to be on the way. Belt's not going to be coming back. Other than that, Murray's definitely going to be playing a big part next season. I might even let him go against my better judgment. He's on a fairly large amount of money for this level. Jeff's I'm undecided on. His contract is up, but he has got a lot of potential and he's deemed as a good player now, but he just seems to give the ball away all the time. I don't know if it's his composure that lets him down because he's only on 10. Joe Lewis is probably going to be sent on his way as well. I'm going to need a replacement backup keeper. But yeah, Johnny Bate, before he spoke about, he may be on his way. You can see he's clearly good enough. He's a good player, but I just don't think he was as good as Brewer. But yeah, into the first team players. Geraldo's going to be on his way. I don't think he's going to be good enough. I love his determination, but I just don't think he's going to be good enough. He's 30 now. He's going to be on his way out, I think. I'm undecided about Aidan White because he's 31. He's going to be 32 in October. I think one more season is probably going to be the best of him, and he's probably going to be the backup one after that. But other than that, then you look at the central defenders. We do need to replace someone, but it means who's going to miss out, because you've got the Salt, who is out of contract. You've got Akel Wright, who's still under contract, so it's more likely going to be the Salt, and keeping Kane as the backup defender, maybe. Danny Kane, that is. We have got some youngsters that are going to be maybe making an appearance next season. You never know. They're more likely to go out on loan again. But we'll have to wait and see. On the financial front, obviously getting into the Premier League has helped massively, and but as of this moment in time, it looks like we haven't received the money because we're still nearly 400 grand in debt, which is terrible. We have now got a wage budget of 402,000, which is fantastic. We're only spending 84 as it stands now, probably one of the lowest wages in the league. Transfer budget, obviously, as we know, is 6.7 million, and only 30% of transfer revenue is made available. So any players that we sell, we're not going to get all the money. It's going to be pretty turd, if I'm honest with you. I'm just going to quickly have a look at one thing. I'm going to have a look at this screen here overall. There's something in particular I wanted to look at, and that is there's certain things you can look at, like the top wages and what have you. Team detail. That's it. Yeah. So just a few stats here. First place is Eastleigh for possession. Average possession is lower than I thought it would have been. Ideally, I want that as close to 60 as possible. So that's a little bit disappointing. Penalties. We've had the most penalties apparently. We scored 4 of them. Mainly because of Smith. Headers won. Where do we come from that? 22nd. So we don't win many headers. Headers won ratio of 14th. Yellow cards, we're the toughest tackling team going. We've got a lot of red cards, 7 in all, and 96 yellow cards. But it can't be that bad because we've got promoted despite that. But that's the benefit of a fairly large squad. Obviously the leaders in red cards by quite some distance, 3 away from Bradford City. Farm not really bothered about. Average attendances. Let's see where we are. Bottom. Average attendance, we're selling out. You know, I think we only ordered about 5,200, something like that. Yeah, percentage of capacity, 99%, as our Fleetwood, 98. Well, we're slightly better, aren't we? But yeah, and we're top obviously of the attendance by capacity. Stadium sellouts 20 times, Fleetwood 16 times. So, you know, we're doing really well. Our highest attendance is £5,192. Lowest attendance, not much less. So our highest was still lower than everyone else's lowest, which was pretty ridiculous. Our transfer spend, we spent the 4th most apparently. Not really sure on that. But yeah, we spent 1.06 million, which was deemed the 4th most. Leeds spent the most, then Hull second. What about Palace? I could have sworn they spent a lot of money. Ooh, sorry. Net transfer spend. No, we are the 4th best. Leeds made a load of money because they sold quite a few decent players because they got relegated. Seferovic, I can't even say his name, Seferovic. Hull, again, they were another team. So we were like the 4th best. We actually made 1 million somehow. I'm not entirely sure how it works, if I'm honest. But the salary one I am a little bit more interested in. And I bet we've got the lowest wage bill, and of course we have. 3.44 million compared to the highest, which is Hull, who we just played against, and they're spending 33.12 million. I mean, it's shocking, isn't it, really, if you think about it. Crystal Palace, just to give you an example, I'll do a comparison like our highest earner. Andre Giselle. Don't mind signing this guy, he looks absolutely shit hot. Yeah, a few players. That Georgiou guy, whatever he's called, picked. There he is. 62 grand a week. 62 grand a week. Shocking behaviour. I mean, Andre Giselle is on there fair, like 33. I'm just trying to see if there's any others. Robocop in goal, 28,000. Joselu, 24,000. Max Clayton, 20,000. Is anyone else down here maybe that stands out? It's probably a quick way of doing this, but I'm just gonna say that there's no one else. Maybe Jordan Rhodes, 35 call it. No, there's a lot of money that they're all on, but lo and behold, Georgiou, 62,000 a week, and then you look at our squad, and our highest earner, I believe, is Sean Long on 6, and he joined in January. But like the long term, the best players, 4 grand for Liam Walsh. I'm pretty sure Saunders is the same. No, he's on 2 grand, which is ridiculous. Our strikers, Adil Nabi, I think is on a bit more than that actually. No, he's on 2 grand as well. So you can see there the gulf in our highest paid players. I mean, Russell joined in the summer for 4 grand a week. Highest earner joint. Hesenthaler's on 1,700 for a captain. Danny Kane I think is on 3.5 if I remember rightly. Yeah, 3.5. Stadium, 1.8. No one really is anywhere close. Stephen Kinsella on 2 grand. So yeah, it's been a very interesting season. We've done very well. I can't complain in the slightest because we've got promoted and we've done it on a shoestring budget. So my portfolio is going up, of course. I would like to stay on as long as I can, but we'll see how we fare. I mean, if it finds that we're not making loads of money and I'm having like literally a pittance every time, then it might be, if someone comes in, I might move on. We'll have to wait and see. I don't really want to, and especially not until I want to look at this. And I've just gone into the Premier League. And I'm taking a seat back here. I'm leaning back here because I'm looking at the players that are in the icons list. And like, Geraldo's a player that I brought in. Hesenthaler's a player that I brought in. Naby's a player I brought in. You know, the rest of like a couple that I inherited. But then you look at the favoured personnel list, and I'm still there. I just don't understand. What I gotta do to become an icon? Yeah. So, yeah, a little bit disappointed with that, but, you know, we're going to the Premier League next season. It might update. I'll check it again probably first game of this, well, first episode of next season. Bit long and drawn out, I'm sure. Media prediction, by the way, 22nd. But, yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this. If you have, 100% like button. If you'd like to see more, feel free to subscribe. And as always, hopefully you'll join us for the next one, which we don't know who it will be, but more likely be the team who wins it, which is Chelsea, I think, looking at it at the minute. I'm going to call it now. It's going to be Chelsea first game of the season. See if I'm right. Until then, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.